in a way. People are assuming it's time for him to finish his story at WrestleMania 40, but is that also a way to start the storyline back up with Roman?
What's going on, wrestling fans? It is I, Steve Fall, and welcome to 10 Count right here on Wrestling News Co. On today's edition, it's very special. It's Royal Rumble edition. On today's edition, I have someone you have seen on Sportskeeda and all over the world. I believe even Cody Rhodes handed a white belt to her and her family. It's Mona Nawaz. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am ready to rumble. I'm ready to put on my predictions hat. If I had one, I'll use my cell phone as the hat. But, you know, Royal Rumble always has surprises. Entrants you don't see coming, not announced. Is there a surprise entrant that you would like to see in the Royal Rumble this year?
I'm going to go straight off the bat with this one. I'm going MJF.
Wow.
I'm going straight MJF. I need to see him in the WWE.
Man, because, it's true. He lost a championship at World's End. I was there when Samoa Joe defeated him. And since then, we haven't seen MJF on Dynamite. We really haven't heard any rumors about his contract either. So, make a good point.
And they said they took him off the internal roster. I mean, sometimes that could be a work. We don't know, but I do feel like his maturity level has surpassed AEW.
Wow. My God. Yeah. As one former Max Dupree used to say, my juices are being titillated right now with what
Steve,
you just said.
I don't like to sugarcoat things. I like the entertainment. This is the most wonderful time of the year. This is when big stars break out, when big surprises come. I want to see MJF. I'd love to see him out there at the Rumble.
Wow. The one that I think everyone is going to ask every single person Royal Rumble week is, since CM Punk is around, I believe everyone believes AJ Lee will make an appearance in the Women's Royal Rumble. That is my big, oh my God moment surprise, because it seems obvious, but yet at the same time, we haven't seen her in a long time. Just because your husband works somewhere doesn't mean your wife also works there as well. So I'm going with AJ Lee as my big surprise, because that place would crap their pants and the person next to them's pants. So
yeah, I mean, we saw some training videos with her and CM Punk. You never know, but she does stay fit on a regular, regardless of wrestling. But listen, let me tell you something. That would be my top woman's surprise as well. And I think she really definitely will shatter that arena with her appearance.
Man, everyone in their Converse shoes be dancing around, kicking and screaming
down the aisle. I mean, I think it would be wonderful to see her. I think she'd do very well.
Like, other people who seem like a good surprise that we've seen before, the Bella Twins would be a nice addition. I know there's some friction between them and the WWE, but also there's been a friction between every single person that ever existed who didn't work there anymore. So in reality, they're not a big surprise, but I could see them making an appearance because it's Royal Rumble and everybody wants to be involved with that 10 count, and then just you show up and, oh my God.
There's one thing I'll give Paul. Triple H, I would say. I mean, at this point, I feel like he should be the face of 2024's wrestling main cover on their game. He has such a great professional atmosphere in WWE that even if you left on bad blood, he finds a way to just draw you right back in with the utmost respect. He listens to what you want, what made you upset. I mean, you look at CM Punk, who would have thought? So to be honest with you, he's doing things at a level I never thought he would do. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised if I see Sasha Banks come back.
You said the magic words. You said now, I know she keeps getting new trademarks according to the internet, where she'll get a new trademark for a catchphrase, or maybe even a clothing line. We're not really sure what these catchphrases are for or these trademarks are for. We just know they're happening. And then seeing Sasha Banks back in the WWE would warm my heart. And I know Bayley needs some backup because it feels like we're leading down a damage control combustion soon enough. But at the same time, I want to see Sasha Banks back, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Sasha Banks back. Everyone's waiting for that moment of like when you get to, say, number 30 and you haven't seen Sasha Banks yet. Everyone's like, well, if it's not Sasha Banks, I'm going to riot.
Yeah, and feel they have a lot to make up for the last Royal Rumble. And because I do say that. I say that a lot because I've been to the past two Royal Rumbles and I feel like St. Louis surpassed, last year's Royal Rumble. So I just feel like he has a lot to make up for. And not only that, I feel like he also has a lot of superstars out there that aren't in the WWE, and he could definitely make this one of the best leading up to most likely the best WrestleMania, being that it's the 40th.
Right. And if you have a terrible 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, well, because I remember, I wasn't alive yet, but like number one, you got Hogan, Mr. T, you have Paul Orndorff, Roddy Piper. You go to 10. We're going to anniversaries. I'm not going to just go through every WrestleMania main event that exists. 10, Madison Square Garden, exactly where the first one was. 20, Madison Square Garden, where the 10 in the first one was. 30, Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement. We're hitting 40 now.
Yeah.
We got to get something in there. And let's talk about it. The Rock wants to be at the head of the table. Are we going to see The Rock inside the Royal Rumble match?
Okay, Steve, I have to break this down quickly. He was in town in Colorado for a football game. He made his appearance. He showed up. He made the fans excited. It was very simple, brief, left. He was in town for another football game. Then he made his way down to San Diego, showed up to SmackDown. Now he controls what his promos are going to be. And this time he mentioned head of the table. Did he mention it to come back in the Rumble? But then I go back and say, okay, could he make an appearance? Maybe. But is it for the championships? I don't think so. And I'll tell you why. Because he's not a full-time wrestler. He just shows up when he needs to. I mean, he's moved on. He's in Hollywood now, right? So if I see him at the Rumble, I truly believe it's just to challenge him on Battle of the Bloodlines. Who is the real head of the table?
The battle for tribal chief. Now,
and that's what I believe, because you have to look at it from a long-term perspective. I mean, I know we like to give the fans I know at least Triple H likes to give the fans what he wants. He's mentioned it in many press conferences, but you also have to look at it from a business perspective. You bring him in. Is Roman really going to drop the title to The Rock?
I know.
Or do you think about how the Undertaker's streak broke and they like to shock the world? Does Roman really beat The Rock?
Oh, dude, why are you bringing back The Rock? And why are you bringing up Brock and Undertaker? Why you have to bring up those sad, sad moments of being curled up in a ball on my couch? And they're like, Daniel Bryan won the championship. I'm so, who the hell cares? Daniel Bryan about him. I was very upset that day.
That's why I always have to look at it as what I want as a fan, but I also look at it as from a business perspective on what's really the best way to go about it. Because, there's so many people that want that championship, that want to dethrone Roman. And can I see it being The Rock? No, I don't see it being The Rock.
But could you see The Rock in the Royal Rumble?
Of course. I could see him setting up the stage for, hey, I'm going to fight you either at night 1 or night 2, regardless. You're not running away.
Man. All right. So now who's going to win the men's Royal Rumble this time around? Because are they going to just let Cody do it twice? Or have him lose here and win Elimination Chamber to get the opportunity? Because it feels like we've been talking about finishing the story forever now. I want the book to end. I want you to close the book. Is this going to happen?
It will happen, but I'll be honest with you. This is why this Rumble is like one of the most exciting for me, because it's so unpredictable at this point. I mean, obviously with Seth, we don't know what's going on, the extent of his injury, but I do believe, because you have so many kind of chasing. I mean, you have Randy, you have CM Punk, you have Gunther. I mean, even Drew McIntyre at this point. You have so many people that are just wanting that opportunity. So you go back and forth and say, who's going to win? And let's just say it's CM Punk, which I hate to say it, I do think it's going to be him. He's going to challenge Seth, right? But what if Seth is injured? That's why this year's Royal Rumble is so unpredictable, which I love. I hate predicting it. I did predict Cody last year, but to have Cody win it twice, I do believe it would be too premature for him to go in and win it again.
Man,
because where is he? What is he going to? We know he's not going to challenge Seth, and he's on the Raw brand.
He's going to challenge Dragunov, the NXT champion.
Yeah. Oh, I know it's just one of those things where I do believe, if you're going to ask me, I do believe it's going to be CM Punk. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I kind of also fall towards Gunther. I'm like, oh, I'd like to see him, get him, I know, to finally get him that bigger push because he definitely deserves it. I mean, he lasted the entire Rumble last year.
I
I
know.
mean,
Then he had to deal with Cody, who came in what 30, I think number 30,
30.
and Gunther was like I think second or first with
All that
Sheamus.
hard work.
And so yeah, you get to the end, you're like, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so tired. Number 30, it's Cody Rhodes. Oh, and he's back from injury. Oh, and he's been training all by himself. He hasn't wrestled on house shows or Raws or SmackDowns like Gunther was. Though it would be awkward. And it's not out of the ordinary that people have won back-to-back Rumbles. It's happened. Hogan did 1990 and 91. Then you had Shawn Michaels 95, 96. Stone
Correct.
Cold did 97 and 98. And I think that might be it for the last time we've had back-to-back Rumble winners, because after that, we go through the tail end, it's like 2000 Rock, and then Austin wins in 01. Yeah, you keep going on. It's like Triple H, Brock Lesnar, and then so on and so on and so forth. No one's doubled up in a long time. So Cody would break a long, long dry streak of someone pulling off back-to-back Royal Rumble wins, but
I would like to see that.
I want him to win, but
Me too.
it might be one of those moments where like, whoa, that was exciting, but I knew it was going to happen.
See, that's why it's just so. That's the thing, is Cody winning would be very predictable in a way. People are assuming it's time for him to finish his story at WrestleMania 40, but is that also a way to start the storyline back up with Roman? Is that the way you start? Or like you said, at Elimination Chamber, is that? But then is Roman even going to be at Elimination Chamber for anything to even spark there? So you go back and forth a lot about who really is who's going to be the top one out of the Men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because I don't mind an obvious choice. It's like going to the movies. The bad guy is gonna get beaten by the good guy. The guy's gonna get the girl. The person who's going for this job is gonna get the best worker there. Like, it's not surprising to me when an ending like that happens. But wrestling fans, for some strange reason, are like, the most logical situation shouldn't be it, because then I'm not surprised. But sometimes the good guy has to win. Sometimes the bad guy has to lose. And we've been on a long ass streak of Roman dominating every single match. Someone gets involved, cheats, he wins. It's all very obvious. Like, put the bloodline inside of a cage or something. But Royal Rumble is a whole different story altogether. So I would like to see Cody win. I won't be mad about CM Punk winning, but I just need Cody to pull off Elimination Chamber, win that match, to then fight Roman at WrestleMania. But if we don't have The Rock in the situation, then it's like, why did you even mention head of the table?
But let's just say Cody does win and he challenges Roman. Does he dethrone him at WrestleMania 40?
Well, I am in a bit of a pickle here, because I'm also kind of getting sick and tired of not Roman, but long title reigns. It's not just Roman. Seth Rollins, Gunther, Austin Theory had it forever too, then lost to Mysterio for some strange reason. Like, there was an endless amount. The only thing that's really changing hands is the tag team championships. We had Uso. Let's go through 2023. Usos, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, Judgment Day, Cody and Jey Uso, Judgment Day. Okay, let's go through everything else. It's the same people.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley.
Let me ask you this, though. If you dethrone Roman, I apologize. If you dethrone Roman and Roman goes on a hiatus, it gives the opportunity for all these wrestlers to finally get their shot, to finally shine. I feel like with Roman, he's kind of overshadowing that. And to be honest with you, he's not at every PLE. He's not at every SmackDown. So everybody's already calling him a part-timer. He's getting all this negativity towards him. But you also look at the empire he's built. He still draws so much attention, regardless of how many times he shows up every month. He brings a lot of sales. People are super excited to see him, everything all in one. So you always wonder, okay, if you dethrone him and he goes away, can these superstars fulfill that shoe that he left? Because it's a big shoe to fill.
I say no one can fill his shoes right now. You have great baby faces, but he is next level boss right now. Of, if you defeat him, you win the game. That's how I look at it. And the game kind of ends, because you look at the past. of wrestlers who were the face of the companies. You know, you go back to Hogan and Austin and Shawn Michaels and so on and so forth. After Austin and The Rock kind of were done, it took a long time because we went through Brock Lesnar for a year as a babyface in 2002-3, and then it became like Kurt Angle for a little while, and we just ended up in this rut for a long time. And the only person who came out of those 2000s was John Cena.
Yep.
And Batista in 2005, when they crowned both of them champions at WrestleMania 21, well, suddenly they were the new faces of the company. It took a long time to get there, and then no one else could get in there. It was only Cena and Batista, and you'd have random heels losing all the time. So in reality, you know, I don't know what's going to happen at the Royal Rumble, even on a prediction show. But in reality, it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be fun. But if Cody doesn't win, I'll riot. That's all.
That's personally because he's been good to my family. Of course, I always want to see him succeed.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see him. I still believe it's going to be CM Punk.
Oh, we're talking about people who've been good to our families. I'm picking Drew McIntyre. Okay, he's a good guy. I like him a lot.
He's a great guy.
He's nice to me.
Yeah, very nice.
The women's Royal Rumble match, though, is another kind of it feels obvious, but it could be something different because Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley were obviously recently kind of teased it, and they've been saving that match. But they also been saving Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for a long time too. So in reality, you have two combo matches that you could pull off with the winner of the Royal Rumble, and then on top of that, Io Sky and Bayley is another storyline that is like slowly building. So in reality, just like the Cody CM Punk situation, you can have Bayley or Becky Lynch win the Royal Rumble, one of them. And if the other one doesn't win, they can go to Elimination Chamber and they can win that. And I don't mind the hero's journey. I don't mind it at all. But who's going to win the Rumble is the question. Becky Lynch would make her a two-timer, and Bayley, it'd be the first time, which I believe only Sasha Banks would need to win the Royal Rumble then for all four horsewomen to have won the Rumble.
Correct. That would happen. Yes. That's the problem. It's kind of obvious with the women's. It's like, but then you also, if let's just say I'm leaning towards Bayley. I feel like Bayley's gonna, because like I said, the storytelling, they're already kind of churning on Bayley. They're kind of bullying her and, making her seem like she's not as, at the same level as them. So I do think it's going to be Bayley. I think Becky and Rhea are just going to happen on their own. But it's too obvious, and I like to be more shocked to see who the winner is going to be. But then I go back and say, like, there's a lot of women surprises that I feel are going to come out of this Rumble. I mean, we forgot Jade.
Yes, we did forget about Jade.
Jade might come back. I mean, she's got to come back. What, she's going to hide backstage the entire time? But it's too obvious. So I'd like to see a surprise, because you already feel like the storytelling's already coming together prior to Royal Rumble with the Io Sky, Bayley, and then you got the Rhea and Becky, because they came out and cut a promo on Monday. But I do believe it's going to be Bayley, and she's going to turn on Io right at WrestleMania.
Man.
Do you agree or disagree?
I think Taylor Swift's going to win the Royal Rumble and then fight Io Sky at WrestleMania. That's what I think.
I'm trying not to ruffle some feathers, but since you said it, number 30.
No, I don't think that. It's funny, before we talk about anything else, I've had so many people DM me who have podcasts. They're like, hey, want to come on my podcast, talk about wrestling? And I write, I'm not talking about Taylor Swift. And then they immediately stopped contacting me because they all want the juice. And I'll never explain why or where or what crazy thoughts crept into my brain of why I said those things I did that day at Fastlane. But guess what? All I remember from that day is Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes were shit-faced and high as a fucking kite. So... There was two big moments that happened that night.
Yeah. I'll never forget it. It was a great
night. Great footage. I was happy to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the women's match is what's the Royal Rumble? I think what happened to the Royal Rumble a long time ago was it has to be someone big, because it's 30 people in each match. Okay, let's be realistic. Angelo Dawkins is not going to win the Royal Rumble. He's going to be in it probably, but he's not going to win it. I almost said Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Wilde, same thing. I like him. He's not winning the Rumble. So in reality, when you put all these people in these matches, you're like, okay, that's great. Not Nakamura now, he's going to be in it. But you already won years ago, and you're not going to win anytime soon, buddy. So we come really down to like 4 people in each match. And Royal Rumble's turned into more of a countdown situation of who cares who's next? I can't wait to count down from 10 and then down to 0 and scream and hear a buzzer. That's what I think it's turned into. It's more of a fun situation than a, huh, how dare number 7 be, Ludwig Kaiser? He's obviously not winning.
That's exactly what it is. It's just more of just the atmosphere is so different because as soon as you see the countdown at 10, everybody's on their feet cheering, counting down. I mean, I hope maybe Andrade makes his way over to the WWE too. I mean, I'm telling you, this Royal Rumble, I think it's going to be one of the most epic Royal Rumbles you could ever put on, especially being behind Triple H. It's going to be huge.
And of course, speaking of other huge matchups here at the Royal Rumble, the championship is on the line. Roman is defending against LA Knight, Randy Orton, AJ Styles. And this is where the tinkering and the crazy thoughts in my brain start coming up, because then you're like, okay, well, let's break some scenarios down. Rock doesn't have to be in the Royal Rumble.
No.
Roman, now I don't think this would happen, but let's throw a scenario. Roman can lose a match without being pinned here.
Correct.
So I don't know I wouldn't want that at all, because it would be like, haha, you lost, but you didn't actually, you use the cheat codes to win.
Yeah. There's no satisfaction against pinning, like, let's just say Randy pins LA Knight and then you win. There's just not that full satisfaction. I mean, Roman needs to be pinned. Yes. That's exactly what it needs to be. Right. Bloodline's going to get involved 100%. There's just no way. There's no way Solo is not going to come down and with Paul Heyman happy behind him to interfere with the match. I just don't see Roman losing. It's going to be disqualification 100%.
Yeah. And we kind of talked about it earlier about, Royal Rumble is predictable. It's like Roman Reigns matches are entertaining, emotional. And I'm like, there's no way he's losing. And we get to a certain point in the match. I'm like, I think he might lose here. And then he obviously doesn't. But it's always fascinating to think, I'm like, he's going to win. He's definitely not losing. He's going to lose. He's going to win. Like, my brain goes through a million things in a match, but it should always come down to, if I had money on this match, who's winning? And I think Roman Reigns is going to retain here at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and you don't know if the brothers are going to get involved. The Usos, they don't like each other right now. So one can come out and the other one gets mad, and then that's when maybe they start their feud for WrestleMania 40, because I know they've always wanted that. And why not do it at the grandest stage where the brothers are fighting, Cody and Roman? I mean, it's just, it can all come together. It's just, how is it going to come together?
Yeah, I know everyone it seems like they're leading to a Jey Uso Gunther type storyline as well. So it's like, what do you do? Give Jey Uso the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania? Or do you have Jimmy fight Jey at WrestleMania? Which one's going to give, I guess, Jey the better situation, and him winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 40 would be the fact, but the Usos fighting is like, oh, this sounds good. I can already see that video package of them as babies and diapers and them running together and fighting, and I'm older than you. No, you're not. Like that'll be fun.
It would be very fun. It would be very, very entertaining. I'd love to see that at WrestleMania. And if we could start that storyline soon, that would have me sitting down waiting for 8 p.m. on a Monday or a Friday to watch that. Definitely.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have Logan Paul defending his U.S. Championship against Kevin Owens.
Listen, I love Logan. And a lot of people have a lot of negative things to say about him. But in that ring, he is one of the most entertaining wrestlers I enjoy to watch. And to see him and KO go at it, I can see KO obviously taking out the win. Logan's going to join the Rumble. I mean, and I'm sorry, Logan's going to take on probably a rematch at WrestleMania. I mean, Logan, to me, he's part-timer. As much as I enjoy him, I wish he'd come more. But that belt, how many times has he defended it since he's won? If you really look at it. This is, yeah.
Maybe once? Maybe?
What? Once? Even? Yeah.
Maybe?
I think it's only one. But to me, it's just one of those things where with these wrestlers, these part-timers, aka Brock Lesnar, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you're going to hold a title, I feel like it's only respectful that you are showing up more than once a month and putting that title on the line. I mean, how many times has Hulk Hogan put his title on the line? I mean,
I've seen the memes.
I mean, the list goes on. So for me personally, I enjoy Logan Paul, and I'd like to see him more. Obviously, I know he has other things. It's just, if you're going to hold the belt, you got to show up more. And that's why I feel like maybe it's time for Roman to dethrone and take his hiatus, because he's been taking one for a long time. But
Yeah. I think Logan Paul actually beats Kevin Owens here at Royal Rumble. I think Logan Paul with a title heading into WrestleMania is a more of an interesting story than Kevin Owens, because I'll be honest, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn was great, and then after that, Kevin Owens has kind of been in limbo, punching Austin Theory and Grayson Waller randomly, and that's fun for Friday Night SmackDown. But Kevin Owens also main evented WrestleMania a few years ago against Austin. Then he main evented last year with Sami Zayn and the Usos. This WrestleMania, I don't see him main eventing WrestleMania.
No, absolutely not. I hate to say, he doesn't deserve to. And, it's just one of those things where if you showed up more, I feel like you would. And I think Triple H keeps that in mind. He looks at who's putting in the work to show up to work and show up at every Monday and Friday, who's there. And he's given those people that opportunity. And that's why I specifically say that even though if Roman does drop his belts, I think they'll be okay. Because you have a lot of superstars on that roster that deserve that top spot.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm really entertained this time of year, because we don't know what Triple H has. I never thought I'd see CM Punk come back. There's so many names out there. Isn't Heath Slater now still a free agent? He could come back. You got there's so many names, but top wrestlers, top superstars, let me tell you, there's a lot out there. And I want to start seeing a rotation of wrestlers getting those opportunities, because you don't want another issue of the Sasha Banks, Naomi walkout situation. I don't think it's going to happen, because I believe Triple H has, everything under control. But you also want to see people, succeed and be happy in their job. They don't want to feel like they're at a standstill. Just like we said with KO, he's just, what is he doing? Punching Grayson Waller every week?
Yeah, he's I guess doesn't get paid by the minute. Still gets paid. So we'll have to see what happens there. But I think Logan Paul retains there at Royal Rumble. But you brought up Seth Rollins a couple of times, and we'll have to, this will obviously air before then. I believe if Seth Rollins is injured, make the Royal Rumble men's match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Just toss it in there. The winner gets the championship. Suddenly it becomes, holy shit, we're going to have a huge matchup, just like a few years ago. Feels like a few years ago, but it's now like half a decade ago, when they put up Roman's championship up in the Royal Rumble while he was also in it. What a great night when Triple H showed up and won the belt, and everyone was so happy that evening, because nobody was happy to see Roman Reigns for a couple years.
Nobody, but you know what? Nobody would be happy to see it, but there is one person I'd be happy to see, if he's okay, if he's fully recovered. It would be Shane McMahon. I'd be happy to see him.
Snoop Dogg will probably have to show up and save him again.
I hope he's better now. He should be. It was last wrestling. I'd like to see him.
I sleep on my arm wrong and I'm hurt for a week, so we'll see how Shane McMahon does when he pulls. I believe he tore his ACL, which seems to be like a McMahon-ism. The only person I think who hasn't pulled their ACL is Stephanie, and we'll have to see. The future is still here. We'll have to see. Or Linda McMahon.
Linda McMahon.
Or all Shane's kids, the star of the football team right now. So we'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of surprises heading into Royal Rumble, but I'm so pumped for Royal Rumble. Everyone loves it, the counting and the betting and picking names from hats. And I'll be there live in Tampa all week long at media scrums, at the events. I will not ask about Taylor Swift, I promise. So there's just so much. No, I don't promise anything. But no, I promise I won't do it. But there's just so much happening this coming up week in the Royal Rumble, and I'm so excited. And thank you so much for sitting here and chit-chatting with me about maybe AJ Lee, maybe Sasha Banks, maybe CM Punk's going to win, maybe Cody's going to lose. We don't know. All we know is it's going to be so much fun next week on Peacock watching the Royal Rumble. So, Mona, thank you so much for being here on 10 Count. I've been Steve Fall. She's Mona. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.